Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details in order to join us in the challenge for as little as $9 a month and also get access to an exclusive in-depth strategy video, information is available in the description below. In the previous video, we looked at ticker symbol MULN, Muller Automotive, and we also looked at some FUD with regard to MMTLP. The focus of this FUD was with regard to allegations made on social media stating that NextBridge will be spun out into a public company. So obviously this was the focus of the previous video. So there was also reference made in the previous video to Voltron. This is a group that I'm not too sure about in terms of their objectives and what they are about, but there was information shared, so that has now been removed. So shout out here to Rob Burgundy, who reached out to clarify that Voltron were not basically claiming that NextBridge is going to be a public company. So the people who were claiming that were certainly not part of Voltron, so that has now been removed. But basically, if you have a look at my response here to Rob Burgundy, in the comments, I've said here, I've not been part of any of the messages and I'm not aware of who's in the groups, but obviously the people posting the messages in the video were promoting FUD, so I am going to stand by that. The video was targeted at those two individuals only, so if Voltron and not those two individuals, then obviously that's happy to be accept that, and that has now been removed from the previous video in terms of the title, description and the thumbnail. And as far as I'm concerned, that the focus of the video was Imbecile 1 and Imbecile 2. So hopefully, so long as Voltron are not defending them, then hopefully we are then all happy. In today's video, we're going to be focused on ticker symbol HKD. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol AMTD. I'm sure you're all aware of what's been happening recently with HKD. I'm also going to be sharing with you a new potential stock that could be linked with these two stocks and still trading at a low price. So stay tuned for that new stock. And then we're also going to be asking the question, could this be replicated with ticker symbol MMTLP and also Metamaterials MMAT? So that will be covered towards the end of the video. So before we make a start, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets in terms of news. So there's a headline here I want to share with you. Just broke today, and this is from the Biden government. Great headline here: Biden signs CHIPS Act to boost US semiconductor production. So this should have a significant impact on the markets as a whole, especially in the EV sector, especially in the semiconductor sector. So he signed the bipartisan Chips and Science Act on Tuesday, which aims to improve the country's ability to compete with China in the field of technology. So the act is going to include more than $52 billion in funding to boost the country's semiconductor production, which is obviously going to put America in position to be the leader in the world economically for a long time. So again, one positive act certainly here from the president. So let's start by having a look at ticker symbol HKD. So before we look at the news and what's happening with regard to the momentum, I'm going to share with you a shout out from the stock alerts, daily stock alerts in the Discord. And you'll see here we called this out on the 18th of July and the 19th of July based on volume, but in fairness, many of the Discord members did not really see this as a significant play because obviously it was a little bit under the radar. But let's now have a look at what we can see in terms of news. So first of all, I'm going to share you a headline here from Market Insider, and the headline here: just 2 hours ago, shares of Chinese tech firm are up more than 32,000% since its IPO in July. And even the company has no idea why. So one thing that I'm not going to do is share with you lots of DD with regard to the company to justify its share price, because obviously the share price is defying all expectations and defying everything with regard to what's going on. So the next headline here is shares of AMT Digital have soared as much as 32,292% since its launch. No idea why, so nobody knows what's going on. It's a Chinese tech firm with a market valuation of $385 billion. That is staggering. Its parent company AMTD, that also soared today more than 500%, and that's also a stock that we called out today in the daily stock alert. So obviously congratulations to everybody who managed to get in on that. And final thing here with regard to the company, let's have a look at what we can pick up here. Company's got about 185 million shares outstanding. It's a relatively low float. The number of shares that the public can buy and sell on a daily basis is only approximately 19 million. So not a huge amount there in terms of availability. So the wild swings and the price trade changes that are going on could be some manipulation from traders. The gains are coming on from an 85% rise from Monday, 122% gain from last Friday, and obviously almost 135% from last Thursday. So obviously this is unprecedented. I've not seen anything like this in the stock market for a long time, and obviously the insiders and the people from the company are also not aware of what's going on. The next thing I'm going to share with you with regard to the company AMT Digital. So on the screen here, you'll see at time of editing, this was regarded as the 20th most valuable company in the world. At one point, it also was the 14th most valuable company in the world, and at one point ahead of ExxonMobil. So this is quite staggering, especially for a company that has got approximately 51 employees and also negligible amount of revenue. So let's now have a look at the charts to see what's going on. So first of all, on the screen here, I'm going to share with you the 5-day chart. So over the previous 5 days, the stock is up approximately 3,143%. So again, today at time of editing, it was up in excess of 126%. So it is defying expectations, but let's now have a look at the chart here for the previous month since the start of the IPO, and we can see it's up in excess of 10,557%. At one point it was trading much higher, so although we can see a price here of 16.79, at one point it was also trading at $2,555. So again, staggering, and this is something that no amount of DD can explain. So the next thing I'm going to be sharing with you here is a shout out to the stock alerts from today, and we can see the other stock that is running up as the parent company combined with HKD is ticker symbol AMTD. So let's have a look at the chart for this. So the gains on here were much bigger. So we can see at time of editing, this was up in excess of 222%. At one point, this was also trading in excess of $12.90, so a great opportunity to take very significant profits there. So ticker symbol AMTD. So what I'm now going to do is share with you another stock that could also be potentially linked with these in terms of what's going on in the charts. And the stock that I'm going to call out now is ticker symbol KRKR. So if you'll see here today in the Discord, this was shared with the members exclusively live in the trading at 4:24 UK time with a link for a reference here. So I'm going to share with you this link. This is a headline from Globe Newswire. So this is a headline from the 12th of March 2021, and you can see here AMTD, Airstyle Digital and Calvin Coy announces joint venture of AK73 Capital to build full life cycle service platform for new economy enterprises. So this is not a new headline, this is quite an old headline, but what we can see here on the third line down, you'll see what's interesting here in terms of the link that we found is a leading AMTD group, which is a leading comprehensive financial services conglomerate in Asia, alongside with its subsidiaries AMTD, ticker symbol HKD, AMT Digital, 36KR, trading on the Nasdaq. KRKR, a prominent and pioneering platform, service platform for China's new economy participants. So again, strong link here. So let's now have a look at what happened in the chart today for ticker symbol KRKR. So we can see here, also known as 36KR Holdings Incorporated, the stock was up in excess of 29.92%. It is a penny stock. It is quite high risk, and in terms of volume, if you have a look at the bottom of the statistics there, average volume is normally 7.9 million. Volume today was nearly 10 times that at 70.216 million. So word is getting out. So this is another stock for your watch list, ticker symbol KRKR. At one point this was up in excess of 55%, and at one point it was also trading at $2.39. So one of the stocks that we will be keeping an eye out. So if anybody would like to get stocks such as KRKR live in advance of obviously open market news on the channel, so you can join this in the Discord to get such notifications. And finally, the question that I think everybody is probably thinking, and that is, can we have a similar run with MMAT, or can we have a similar run with MMTLP? Time will tell. Nobody knows the future. Anything is possible, but in my opinion, I don't think we're going to get a 30,000 plus percentage increase in any of the stocks in the short term or in the medium term. But long term, I think Meta Materials has got huge potential. It could definitely be one of the big game players. So as a long-term play, definitely huge potential. Once revenue increases, I see a very strong future for the company. In terms of MMTLP, again, that all depends on what happens with the S1. Once we get approval there, the countdown begins, and then we will see what happens after the S1 has been completed, and then after the spin out has been completed into NextBridge, into a private company. Then it'll be a case of, let's see what happens. Is there news? Is there a buyer? And is there something that we can celebrate? Hopefully there is. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.